Okay. Yeah. So do we start? Yeah, we start. So good morning to everybody. I hope I do not hear any response. Good morning, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh yeah, one voice we heard. Thank you.
Good
so we
morning.
start just. Ben is next to me and he can introduce himself. Prince is also not far away. So we continue our reflections on Laudato Si in this perspective of Ben. He has been in Rome for some time and now he's responsible of implementation of the values and the 7-year program of Laudato Si in Africa. So I'm another brother, Kasisi, we are responsible for Kenya, for this country. And so we started some communication with the Episcopal Conference of Kenya, with the Amesea church region in Eastern Africa. So this is now a continuation of getting the information and the guidance from Ben, who is really a resource for the implementation of the value system, of the strategies of Laudato Si, how it is intended from Vatican, how it is now accompanied, maintained regularly with new information, and he will introduce all these details to us today. Ben, welcome.
Thank you for the Hammond. Thank you so much. If you mute yours, all right, I move to the other room. Maybe I mute, or you can mute. Yeah, thank you. So I think the best thing is to start with the word of prayer. Yeah. No, I can move to the next room. Yeah. Just a minute, I'll move to the next room so that we have no echo.
Yeah, we may remember the appearance of Father Paul from Amesea last 1 week ago, last Saturday, and how clear he was in the performance of his PowerPoint. So clear what this is created in, let's say, in office, not in realities, but we have to find the strategies to bring it to reality, to bring it to praxis, to bring it to our grassroots, to our communities, to our parishes, to our outstations, to our priests. I can say now that already all priests of Kitale Diocese are intending now to join us in our meetings to get a common information and common orientation for one diocese, maybe the most exposed diocese as we can find at present. In Nairobi has something in common, and definitely also Ngong Diocese. We know Bishop Obala is very keen on implementing more. So maybe we hear more details now from Ben. I'm sure has settled in the new environment that we do not get disturbed and do not disturb our ecos. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think the best thing is to start with a word of prayer. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. God our Father, we give you thanks for this morning when you have united us here again to reflect on fundamental issues of our Christian faith, but also our social and political life. We ask that you may guide us as Franciscans and people of goodwill to know you better through this process. May you give us knowledge and understanding and your protection. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Ignatius of Loyola, pray for us. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. So I was requested to introduce myself. I'm Brother Benedict Ayodi. I'm a Capuchin Franciscan. And currently I work for the Global Catholic Climate Movement as program manager for Africa, but also I am the outreach officer for the Franciscans International, coordinating the initiatives of the Franciscans around the world. Previously, I worked in Rome
Ben,
almost 6 years. Yes?
There are interruptions in your talk. Is the network properly strong enough where you are?
I think so. Can everyone else hear me clearly, or?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
We hear you, Father.
So for the Haman, maybe it is yours. Yeah. Well, so yes, previously I worked for Justice, Peace and Integrity of Creation in Rome for 6 years, coordinating the issues of justice and peace, also working with Roman 6. Roman 6 is the Inter-Franciscan Justice and Peace Commission of all the different branches of the Franciscans. And so in 2015, as you know, the encyclical Laudato Si was released in June. And just before that, we had a climate march in New York. After the UN meeting in New York in September 2014, we had this climate march that was very big, and Catholics marched together. Catholics marched together. If you've lived in New York, you know from the Fifth Avenue, from St. Patrick's Cathedral the Catholics, we marched together, and at the end of the march, we decided to sit together and say, what can we do as Catholics, having marched together on the issue of climate change and climate action? And there were rumors, actually there were only rumors, that the Pope would release an encyclical that will focus on the issues of environment. And so after the march, we sat down as Catholics and said, we are going to form a movement that will bring together all the different Catholic institutions that will then be the board or the object or a voice for Catholics on the issues of environment. So then in February 2015, we created what we call the Global Catholic Climate Movement. This movement will be a combination of all the Catholic institutions. And from that time, we put together over 750 Catholic institutions, including the Caritases, the different congregations, the Franciscans, the CRS, all of them, 750, and formed this movement called the Global Catholic Climate Movement. Now, when the encyclical was released in 2015, this organization then became the very object or the board that will carry the voices of the Catholics to the COP21, the Paris meeting in Paris that happened in November 2015. And this was very important because through this movement, we were able to collect over 1 million signatures that then accompanied the Pope's encyclical Laudato Si to the Paris meeting. And in this meeting, we realized that now it was not just a matter of politics that they were promoting at the Paris meeting, but now we had a moral voice from our Pope. And so I'd like to pass you through this movement and how it started. And I would like to inform you that we have changed the name of the movement through the permission of the Pope. And now the movement is going to be called Laudato Si movement. It's no longer Global Catholic Climate Movement, but Laudato Si movement. So I'll just share my screen there, and there we go. I think you can see my screen.
Very well.
Yes, okay, thank you. So the whole process of changing the original idea of the Global Catholic Climate Movement to this new idea of Laudato Si movement, we decided to call it a synodal discernment. A synodal discernment in the sense that it is a process of growth, a consultative process from all the major Catholic organizations around the world. And so we had even a prayer and a consultation with the Pope himself. And he said that this is a prayerful discernment where we need to grow as Catholics in the issues that are very important. We are faced with a major disaster in the world, and that disaster is climate change. And therefore, we need to move together in a synodal perspective in order to tackle this major problem. And so we put together discernment questions of who we are as Catholics, our identity, membership, the structure of the organization, the values, the mission, and even the name that we want. And through our consultative process, sorry, it's going very fast, just go back there. Through this process, we had all international bodies, board of directors, steering committee, membership committees, and also regional consultations of chapters and animators to try to find ways in which to answer these fundamental questions. So it was a process of growth before we moved into adopting this new name, Laudato Si movement. So you can see from September to December 2020, we reflected on that process in February, and even in October, we had all those trying to answer those questions about our values, who we are. And from that process, we came up with a fundamental statement saying that the identity and membership of the Global Catholic Climate Movement, GCCM, or the Global Catholic Climate Movement, seeks to be a spirit-led movement that brings Catholics together to fulfill its stated mission. And the movement brings together a wide range of Catholics, both organizations and grassroots members from around the world. These members work together in synodality and communion with the Universal Church on a journey of ecological conversion. So, seeking unity in diversity, organizational and grassroots members come together to pray, collaborate, and mobilize in response to the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. So, in other words, going back to Laudato Si, and the whole process, we realize that is guided by the spirit of subsidiarity. And when the time and context are right, they co-create or engage with local Laudato Si circles and chapters. So this became then the identity of the movement. This statement became very important in giving the Global Catholic Climate Movement some form of identity. And then we created this kind of map, this tree, to try to explain to us, like, these trees, we have the member organizations, we have the chapters, we have the grassroots members, including the Laudato Si circles, Laudato Si generation. We are like a tree. We have the roots, of course, but then we work together with a common mission, So in other words, we are a hybrid movement with two major branches, that are made of member organization, grassroots groups, and they're united with chapters. So all these processes, using the board, the secretariat, and other advisory boards. As you know, we have the advisory board made by several people, including from the Dicastery for Integral Human Development. Some cardinals are included, and the board of directors. We sat together to design this process, to make a structure that has the governance, the executive functions, the global, regional, national, local, and micro local groups, because we realize that this organization brings together all Catholics. And for your information, a major part of this organization was made of the Franciscans, the Franciscan Action Network. I'm humbled to be one of the co-founders of this movement. And when the movement started, we did not have a domus. We did not have the status to start a movement. So we decided to start this movement through the Franciscan Action Platform, Franciscan Action Network in the US, that then became our hinge. So a lot of things about this organization, they are guided by Franciscans. So then we have also created what we call the Global Membership Council. And this Global Membership Council brings together different organizations, member organizations. These include the Franciscan Action Network, but also we have the OFM Friars, the Capuchin Friars, and others. We have several Franciscans entities that are included in the Global Membership Council. So this Global Membership Council, as you can see a photo there, we had a meeting in Assisi and representatives from these different member organizations, including the Caritases, the Franciscans. I was representing all the Franciscans actually. And we decided to, to form these small groups like the chapters, the Laudato Si generation, and to start this program for training, which is called the Laudato Si Animators Program. Even now, it is ongoing to train people on Laudato Si, and not only to have knowledge, but also to take concrete action where they are. And then another discernment process was on values. We wanted to identify ourselves with the Catholic values. So some of them we are grounded in the Catholic faith, committed to transformation, caring for one another. And it's a holistic, we use a holistic approach. So it's not just about climate action and climate justice. It's also about our spirituality, eco-spirituality. And then we have unity within diversity. And we work within the church and in the world, building bridges. And we have a prophetic advocacy and embracing the slow and fast rhythm. And then finally, living in hope. So these are the principles that then will guide the movement that are very, very much based on our Catholic identity. The other discernment process was the mission, which is to inspire and mobilize the Catholic community to care for our common home and achieve climate and ecological justice. So you see in that mission statement, it's not just about the name that was defining it. It was Global Catholic Climate Movement. It was like we are dealing only with climate, which is not true. The Laudato Si is based on both ecological justice and climate justice. So then the statement became to inspire and mobilize the Catholic community to care for a common home and achieve both climate and ecological justice. And that is why in many of our activities, we put our faith very much at the center of it. We are based on the Catholic social teaching. And then, as you know, the Laudato Si itself is a social document that is also part of the Catholic social teaching. Another discernment process is the name, similar to the name choice that occurs in the sacrament of confirmation. We are now in a confirmation moment. This is one of our co-founders who said this, say that like confirmation. So we have moved from just being a movement based on advocating for climate. We are now a movement that has been confirmed and now has brought all the other, you're baptized now, you're confirmed, so you're holistic. It's a whole. That is the other discernment process, to change the name from the Global Catholic Climate Movement to the Laudato Si movement. But of course, we have challenges, we have problems that came with especially with the name, the previous name. We had people who are misquoting us. I was in a certain meeting and they said somebody was trying to identify us, and they said Global Catholic Climate Crisis. Another one say Global Catholic Climate Change. So then that also contributed, these problems contributed as to changing this name. You can see some of them, the wrong quotation of those, the GCCM, Global Movement for Climate, Global Catholic Movement for Creation, and many others, Catholics for Climate. It was very difficult for people to understand what kind of movement is this, and so it was misquoted in many incidences. So then the discernment process has been going on consultation with the several members, 580 members participated in the process, in the survey, come up with the name. There was a second round with member organization. Others were, we had also with animators. If you are a Laudato Si animator, you must have seen the survey. We had the board, we had the Franciscans. Franciscans are very important in this organization. They were particularly consulted because, as you know, the name Laudato Si is a very Franciscan name. So the organization decided to consult the Franciscans on the use of the name, to use the name Laudato Si, because, as you know, comes exactly from, directly from St. Francis of Assisi. And the Franciscans said, please go ahead, we like the name. In fact, you'll be helping us to promote our spirituality. And then there was the final round, which was to consult the Pope himself. So the Pope Francis was consulted, as you can see, the final round of the consultation. Pope Francis gave the permission to use the name Laudato Si. And so we are a movement. And movement here means that we have different organizations, initiatives. So like Mother Earth Network by Father Haman, it is part of the movement because it is working autonomously, independent, but it's a Catholic organization, so it becomes part of the movement. Or the Justice and Peace and Integrity of Creation, Franciscan Africa, is part of the movement. They're independent, they are doing climate action, and yet they are part of this movement. And that is why the movement is all-encompassing, and the Pope has given the permission to go ahead. And you can see on that table, we had 4 or 5 options to the suggestions for this. And you can see that there was a suggestion to have the name Catholic Climate Movement, Hope for the Earth. We had also Catholics for Creation, Hope for our Common Home, Laudato Si Alliance, Catholics for our Common Home, Laudato Si Movement, Catholics for our Common Home, and then Laudato, the Global Catholic Climate movement. So these different names we sent out, and the survey brought up the major one was majority of people actually voted for Laudato Si movement, and it has a tag name by the name of Catholics for our Common Home. Catholics for our Common Home. Okay. I'll not go to much details. I will just go to something here that This is the letter that went to Pope Francis from the movement. And we basically said we have discerned synodally that the name Laudato Si movement best reflects our identity and charism. Since this is the name of your prophetic encyclical, we would like to humbly ask if you are agreeable to this name for the movement. Our intentions is to be at the service of you and the church. So your opinion and approval are essential. Those are the words that went to Pope Francis in that particular letter that you see on the left. And his response, of course, was yes. And he gave this yes. We got the Pope's answer on the Pentecost, May 22nd, saying, please go ahead. And that is from that time, then we adopted the name Laudato Si movement. So we decided to give a gift to Pope Francis, and we made booklets with all the initiatives from around the world of our circles, our chapters, including, from Kenya here, we had the pictures of the initiatives of the Laudato Si generation, Justice and Peace. The music of Brother Steve was also included, and all that. So we are very proud that this book, the Pope was very happy, and he signed it and accepted that we move ahead. You can see the response of the Pope there with his handwriting. It was direct and without many words. He said to the Laudato Si movement, thank you for the mission of promoting integral ecology and for the help you give to the church throughout the world. Happy Laudato Si week. And so That was the official response on the 22nd of May 2021. So then now we are Laudato Si movement. This announcement was made only on 2 days ago, July 29th. Is it yesterday or the other day? And so then we moved from Global Catholic Climate Movement to the Laudato Si movement. So some takeaways of the new name and mission. First is our work will continue to be focused on care for our common home, which is the overarching theme of the Laudato Si encyclical, and is the framing used in our new mission statement. Then the movement's growth invites us to deepen our understanding of subsidiarity with local chapters and members, and how we combine both the great work of members on local issues. So working on the issues of mining, plastic pollution, river pollution, and our joint effort on global campaigns for climate and ecological justice, on the issues of biodiversity, climate petition, fossil fuel divestment, all that. Then the spiritual goal of the ecological conversion will remain a key cross-cutting priority, while carried out in the spirit of integral ecology that connects the dots between ecological and social issues. Laudato Si is much more than an encyclical. Ultimately, it's about the Franciscan worldview of communion with creation as expressed by the Canticle of the Creatures. So you see, the Franciscans are mentioned in a particular way. Laudato Si is much more than an encyclical. Ultimately, it's about the Franciscan worldview of communion with all creation. So, brothers and sisters, promoting Laudato Si, it is our priority as Franciscans, as you know, because this is also about our spirituality. And then finally, even if our movement is a broad tent that brings together many organizations and grassroots communities, we humbly acknowledge that there is a lot of Laudato Si action taking place outside of our movement, ranging from the Vatican's Laudato Si action platform that is ongoing, all the way to the territorial network. For example, REPAM, which is in the Amazon, but also we have REBAC in the Congo, here in Africa, and other Laudato Si inspired initiatives, Laudato Si Institute. This is the institute that has been started on education, specifically targeting universities around the world, including now we have a department at the Antonianum and even at the Gregorian University that will focus specifically on Laudato Si. You can now get your master's, and I think in future a PhD on Laudato Si. And they'll be offering Laudato Si scholarships, which will be a good thing. And so we are so delighted to see that so much life was inspired by the encyclical. From the words of Pope Francis. Now so many activities are taking place around the world. So the next steps, the new name is not confidential anymore. It had been confidential, but now it's official since the 29th. Now it is Laudato Si movement, and we'll continue engaging our different groups, our Laudato Si animators, and also through social media to promote people living the initiatives of Laudato Si. So I'll stop here and I'll open for questions. If you have any question, I'll be glad to answer. Thank you so much.
Did Stephen join us in the meantime? I see only Danny. Stephen, you are
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fr.Ben, for this wonderful presentation about the Laudato Si campaign. Thank you for bringing it to us. I know Laudato Si movement, the change of the name was announced on 29th of this month, but at a global level, it was a wonderful global event. Everybody, people who managed to join, we enjoyed so much. But thank you so much as a Africa program manager of the Laudato Si movement to bring it to us at African level. As we know today, you are having a special also event of launching a new office of the Laudato Si movement Africa after Africa chapter. So Fr.Ben, we thank you so much. We really appreciate to take us through the process. It was a long process, but also a wonderful discussion as you are planning to have the change of the name. Enjoy how like the process, the protocols, discussion and agreements, vetting, everything. And we also appreciate the impact that the Laudato Si has made in each one of us here. A lot of activities. In fact, we discussed with some friends who have been involved, and many of them said, in fact, we've been using Laudato Si movements because the global Catholic climate movement has not been easy for people to pronounce. So people have been, in fact, using Laudato Si movements. So we thank you that it was brought in the willing of the people also, so to make it easy and meaningful also. It's also wonderful that it's linked, it connects 100% with the Franciscan charism, Franciscan worldview, as it is mentioned also in the document. So I'm opening this floor now to members here. First of all, to appreciate the presentation of Fr.Ben, the work you've been really doing around this program of Laudato Si. You are allowed now to unmute your microphone and make some comments, make some remarks. Remember, this talk is also live on YouTube. The YouTube link was shared in the chat box. You can still share it so that also you share it widely so that Laudato Si animators, your friends, partners, they get to know more about this even after this presentation. So unmute yourself, also keep chat here in the chat box, keep discussion live. You can write also there, introduce yourself if it is your first time to be here or not. Also, you can appreciate through the chat box, but open your microphone now, say something. Welcome.
Hello, Steve.
Yes, Boniface.
Yeah, I'm here. I was not able to attend on site, but at least
Boniface.
Yeah, I'm attending from online.
That's great. Any comments? Any remarks, Boniface?
No, everything is good.
That's good. Thank you. I appreciate people who are also putting their questions and idea in the chat box. I'm hoping Fr.Ben is also checking in the chat box. There is a question like, what is Laudato Si animator? So Fr.Ben will elaborate on this, and I would like also to emphasize on the same question because I know people who have been trying to register for the course that has just started for Laudato Si animators. Is it still open? Since I know it was just launched this week. So this also Fr.Ben will respond. Anybody else has a question or a comment is welcome, so that Fr.Ben will answer all.
Yes. Thank you for that question. And even Prince is here. We have, I think, Linda. Maybe Prince will also explain a little bit about this course. But an animator is somebody, it's like an activist, but an animator is someone who teaches, someone who inspires others. And so we started a program as part of the movement to train people on Laudato Si. So this is an ongoing training that we have it twice in a year, in English, even Italian and Spanish. And so it's a training that takes place maybe in 4 weeks, and we have speakers who help you to understand more profoundly Laudato Si. And at the end, you do a project called the Capstone Project, and then you are certified as an animator. So you become like the one who goes out there to train others, to help others understand Laudato Si, and not just to train, but also to take concrete action. So this, even now, as Steve said, we have an ongoing training, which is completely free. It's free. You just register on the platform that we call Thinkific, and then you follow the training or the webinars that are maybe 4 of them with the very, very, very qualified speakers from around the world, and you join this global community of people who promote living Laudato Si, especially in the grassroots. So here in Africa, we have trained about 600 animators. In Kenya, I think almost 150 or so. Like Steve is an animator, and many other people who have been trained for free. They are certified, they are recognized as people who know Laudato Si, and they are ready to promote it at all levels. So if you know of people who want to be trained, or you are part of a university, you want your students or even congregations, you want your people information, you want to know more about Laudato Si, please register with us. It's on the website. I think Prince will share the link on the chat where you can register and be trained as a Laudato Si animator to promote Laudato Si wherever you are. So that's in short is a Laudato Si animator. I see another question here on what should we focus on as we go forth. I said, I talked about the next steps. Of course, nothing much is changing with the name change. We are going to continue with our programs. We have programs like the Season of Creation. As animators, you should be able to promote or to take action during the Season of Creation that will start in 1st of September to 4th of October, the Feast of St. Francis. We'll continue doing advocacy, prophetic advocacy through our campaigns. Like in Africa, we are campaigning against the ECOP. We are now collecting signatures through what we call the Catholic petition. And we are looking for so many signatures. So we are appealing to you to help us get these signatures. The purpose of this is to send these signatures to the 2 COPs, the Conference of Parties. The first one that is going to take place in China, COP15 on biodiversity. And then another one is the one on climate that will take place in Glasgow, UK in November. And in this, we want to, to make sure that the voice of the church, the voice of Pope Francis in Laudato Si on climate action is listened to by the political leaders who will be in those major meetings. As you know, we are faced with these climate crisis, and unless we take concrete and urgent action, we will be destroyed, because as you know, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, just said we have about 10 years to take action. Otherwise, we will start experience extreme events in climate that may destroy our livelihood as humanity. So somebody has already sent there the link. Prince has sent that. The link on how to register as an animator, you click on it. We also have the petition. For sure, we request you to help us with promoting this petition. In Africa, we need to submit around 100,000 signatures, and we have not even reached 500. So we are requesting, appealing to you, advocating that you for sure help us to sign this petition and to promote it. Thank you. Oh, Prince, if you have something to add.
Thank you, Fr.Ben. I guess we are also preparing just for a mass that we will broadcast on both YouTube and Facebook starting in a few minutes time. So we'll share also with you the link. Thank you.
Yes, we're about to start mass and we invite you to join. We'll be launching officially the office, but also the new name, the Laudato Si movement. So it is a great moment for us and we invite you to be part of it. Thank you. After the mass, we'll also have more explanations on this movement.
So from my side, I would like to say really thanks for this background, and I see great steps ahead of us globally, locally, in all our Franciscan entities, especially that the level of motivation can never be high enough. So everybody is almost initiated, addressed, and motivated to participate and to widen the horizon of implementation. Stephen, it's come to an end.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben, for responding to this question, making clarification. Thank you, Prince Papa, for sharing this link for Laudato Si animators, the petition. Yes, thank you also, Father Haman, and others who have also made important comments in the remarks in chat box. Yes, we are still together, and since we have started with the new name, I know there will be a lot that the Laudato Si movement African office will share with us. Yeah, as Prince Papa has mentioned, we are going to start with the mass, and you are all invited. I know the link, if you've not yet gotten a link, I know maybe if there is a link, Papa, you can share also here for people who do not get it, so that, or they can go straight to the GCCM Africa, the Facebook page. It will be live. It will be live there. And is there any last question? I'm seeing that would you be having any
Stephen?
plans?
Stephen?
If not,
Stephen?
yes, Father.
Yes.
Yes.
Practically, it is a bit quiet in Kenya, but behind the sceneries, the secretary of the Episcopal Conference in Kenya is now working hard, the implementation and involving the government, involving the UN, involving all main activities concerning saving environment in Kenya. A big gathering is planned maybe for September, October, or November throughout a general where highest authorities participate in to implement and to follow the lines of Laudato Si.
Sure. Yes. Fr.Ben, if you are still around, or Papa also, you could clarify this, but I think any organization, as a Prince Papa has shown, as a Fr.Ben shown in the presentation, organizations, grassroots organizations are also allowed to be partners of Laudato Si movement. You need just to get in touch with their office.
Yeah.
So let me.
And you can get the information online. You can register to become a member organization. So you just go to, by the way, we have changed our website. So you go to the Laudato Si movement.org, I think. If Prince is here, I can also put the link there. You go to the new website, you'll see a place called Member Organization and Partners. You register your organization and become part of the Laudato Si movement.
Thank you so much for that.
Okay, Steve.
Yes, sister.
Good morning, everyone. I want to thank Fr.Ben for that elaborative explanation about where the origin. Now we are in Laudato Si movement. But I have one concern, Ben. I'm happy that it is the Laudato Si movement, but still we are having the logo of Catholic what is it called? You know, you are aware that we have Muslims in the Laudato Si. We have friends in Muslim who are Muslim at the Laudato Si, and I would really like that in the Laudato Si movement we continue encouraging those partners who are Muslims to join us. Is there anywhere that they can also join in the partnership? As you said that there is somewhere that people can click in and actually register.
Yeah. A little bit
or
of
you have
background
to
to
be a
this.
to yes.
Yeah. The purpose of the movement, to be sincere, was started to focus on Catholics. Catholics. But to work, so our focus is to make sure Catholics are 1.2 billion. So they make a very big percentage of the population. And so and as you know, an encyclical is first of all addressed to the Catholics and then to the people of goodwill. So the purpose from the beginning, even with the release of the encyclical, was focused on Catholics first, and then in partnership with others. So indeed, we work with the other organizations in partnership, but the principal focus is Catholics. Like the season of creation, it was not even started by Catholics. It was started by the Orthodox. And so we work in collaboration, but the targets of the movement are Catholics.
Okay. But my question is, can they still register?
Thank you, sister. Thank you,
Father,
for that.
Who want to be partners?
Yes, I think they can register as partners. And it goes to a committee that decides. It goes to a committee that decides who joins, but priority is given to Catholic organizations.
Yeah, I think I'm not asking this for myself. It's because it is good that we are at par and we understand, because you have these people who are interested. So thank you so much for your. Please, Steve, may I announce something? Steve. Hello.
Sorry, sister.
Yes, I really want us, or those of us who are here, I would like us to congratulate Father Hammonborg. Today is the 31st of July, when he was ordained 50 years ago as a priest. It is the official day of his jubilee, and we are together trying to organize and put things together. For those who are far, please wish Father congratulations, pray for him to continue with the good work that he is still doing with us and in the continent of Africa and also in the world. So congratulations, Father Hammond. We are together and we are very, very grateful We are very happy for you being around, and we appreciate you. We value your contribution as a Franciscan, and more so now in the Laudato Si and the environmental campaigns that we do together.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Enjoy yourself.
We are going to pray for him at Mass now.
Yes, and on Saturday, those who are able to come, we'll have Mass here at 3 p.m. at the Franciscan Family Center. As a way of appreciating Father Herman, we welcome you at 3 p.m. Thank you so much.
Next Saturday.
Next